struggle with it at times.
Yeah. There were districts in Michigan, too, they thought they would hold on to. Michigan as well. I don't mean Michigan's 2nd district. And then North Carolina, there's some seats where they're disappointed. This just goes to show they were incredibly, frankly, overconfident about it. And they were saying we could win as many as 12 to 14 seats on a good night. It just showed you how they were thinking about Donald Trump and what they sort of viewed as the absurdity of the idea that he would win re-election or that they
In fairness, Republicans thought they were going to lose big as well.
That's true. That's absolutely
true. It's kind of interesting that...
the weekend before, I had a Republican from the big super PAC say, oh, man, we just want to be on, above 190 in the House.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm not trying to just criticize Democrats and their numbers here, but I do think that it shows you the depth to which Donald Trump has really, whether it's that he's stoked the culture wars or that people feel like they're participants in that, you look at those House numbers and that can really help you understand all of this.
We're going to fit in a break here, and we'll be back with more Decision 2020 coverage right after this.
Washington feels more chaotic than ever. It's my job to ask the tough questions, left and right, and help you make sense of it all.
You ready to go to work?
I'm so ready to go to work.
She's Joe Biden's choice to be next in line. But who is Kamala Harris? Join me, Joy Reid, as I explore her life's journey from Oakland to Washington on my 6-part podcast, Kamala, Next in Line. New episodes every Monday. Subscribe for free wherever you get your podcasts.
For breaking news in our changing world, download the NBC News app.
President Trump and Joe Biden hit the trail. At the center of this campaign, coronavirus.
The story.
The battleground blitz as we enter the final stretch of the 2020 race.
From every angle.
If you were sitting here talking to Joe Biden and President Trump, what would you want to tell them right now?
On the ground.
The wind standing these flames are expected to last another 24 hours.
And in depth.
We now have 2 vaccine trials on hold. Should people be concerned?
NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good morning. Welcome to Today. We're glad to have you with us.
This fall, we're right there with you. Whether you're back to school.
What do you guys think? We're excited?
Or back to work. We're keeping you safe.
I love being back.
Every morning on Today.
Police murder of unarmed black men has been an American way of death across centuries. After seeing the most comprehensive police reform bill ever introduced in Congress, I've begun to wonder if now is the time. If now is the time the protesters finally win.
The Last Word with Lawrence O'Donnell, weeknights at 10 on MSNBC.
Decision 2020, we continue to watch those 6 states right now outstanding that could determine who the next president will be. That's what Arizona is showing right now. It is too early to call. We've been looking at a Biden lead there, but we've got some new numbers recently, and Donald Trump adding to his total. So we'll continue to watch. More numbers expected to come in there a bit later on this evening. Also, right now, Pennsylvania, that's the other big prize everyone is watching. Too early to call in Pennsylvania. Trump out in front there, but Biden has been slowly but steadily closing that lead.
Yeah, and we're waiting for more votes to come in and be counted there. In Georgia, it is a nail-biter, too close to call. We are being told by our correspondent on the ground they're going to be counting late into the night there. This one is a squeaker. North Carolina. Press pause on this one. It's too close to call, and we don't anticipate any more counting to be released until as far out as next week.
Which still feels like a weird thing to say. November, really, guys? We're going to wait till November 12th?
Well,
we think.
Well, Nevada, they'll be back at it tomorrow.
Yes.
So let's look at Nevada. That is too close to call, but they have knocked off for the evening, as we mentioned, but they plan to get back at it 9 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow. Alaska, it is too early to call there, but you can see Donald Trump with a significant lead right now as we look at 56% of the expected vote in.
All right, so there's the White House, and we can fire up the 270 map, the road to 270. It's filled out quite a bit, but the suspense still with us. Chuck, you're over at your what if map. So what are the different scenarios now?
Well, number one, I just want to remind people, if we just we know who's leading in every state. So let's just do that. All right? Alaska, Trump leads. Nevada, Arizona, Biden leads right now. Pennsylvania, Trump leads. North Carolina, Trump leads. Georgia, Trump leads. So if we just did that, there would be your final result, 270, 268. 2000 election was 271, 267. So we have never had it that close. That's just assuming that at this point. And it is a reminder of the different paths. I mean, this is the fastest path. Well, the fastest path now for Joe Biden to get to 270 actually is just simply Pennsylvania at this point. If you check
fastest,
it out carefully,
but not the neatest,
not the easiest.
But it's the one with the most pain. Exactly. Where Nevada and Arizona, where you don't need it, a lot less pain on that front. So look, in that sense, I think let's see how the night goes with Arizona, and I think it then dictates. I mean, if Arizona is suddenly a jump ball, then the Biden campaign is going to be, I think, basically becomes a three-state strategy, because they're going to want to make sure that one of Arizona, Pennsylvania, or Georgia comes through, because they're in this position, they only need one of those to come through, assuming they keep Nevada.
It always strikes me when you think about these campaigns that have invested so much time and focus, and they control their own destinies, and you get to this point now, you're a day after the election, and there's not a thing you can do. We can do this and play with the boards and have this academic and journalism exercise, but they can't do anything to move.
Can't buy another ad.
Yeah.
Let's put an ad. We can target that. Oh.
No, the votes have all been cast. That's done. Now it's just the counting. And in some places, that's taken longer than anyone would like. Kelly O'Donnell's with us. She's at the White House. I should mention we are awaiting more vote from Arizona tonight. We expect a little bit more, so we'll keep our eye on that. Kelly, what are you hearing from Trump world tonight?
Well, one of the things that really stands out, Savannah, is the unusual silence from a president who is known for being blunt, brash, always using his own megaphone of social media. We're not seeing that from the president, and not as much from his allies either. Now, I've been talking with sources in Arizona, and they, of course, are looking at your home state with great interest. And part of what we've also been looking at is how do these states, especially with a Republican governor in Doug Ducey in the case of Arizona, how can that partnership and relationship help the Trump campaign understand their numbers? Before we all got to nights like this and the country's learning about the counties and so forth, the campaigns have their own personal histories with knowing where do their voters reside, who do they work and spend the most money to draw out, and then you layer in a Republican governor like Doug Ducey, who has his own electoral history in his state. And then you bring in the Cindy McCain factor. She, of course, came out in support of Joe Biden, but retaining her Republican credentials, not getting involved in other races, speaking to Republicans in places like Scottsdale, Maricopa County, truly red places where she has a long personal history with her late husband, of course, Senator John McCain. And if this ultimately becomes a Biden story in Arizona, that relationship of Cindy McCain may tell part of the story, especially with suburban women. But the Trump campaign is still arguing that their math is what they know best and their data is what they know best. And that as some of these results come in, Maricopa County, they're outperforming, they say, then you'll have a county like Pima County in Arizona, which could give Biden some more help. Close, close, close. Arizona is one of those states where the president spent a lot of time in 2016, not as much time in 2020. And you have to think that in the silence of these hours of waiting, if there isn't some thinking about places where they might have used the candidates' time